Hi, welcome back to English Simplified channel. Now we're discussing the content structure of a research, thesis, or dissertation. Without waiting, let's begin. The specific structure, and the headings and subheadings may vary depending on the specific requirements of the research paper and the preferences of the author or the journal. Headings and subheadings in a research paper can vary depending on the field, the topic, and the specific requirements of the publication or institution. However, there are some common elements that are typically found in many research papers. Here's a general outline of the typical structure. Title page. Abstract. Chapter 1. Introduction. Chapter 2. Literature review. Chapter 3. Methodology. Chapter 4. Results. Chapter 5. Discussion. Chapter 6. Conclusion. References, and appendices. This breakdown provides a structured approach to organizing the content within each chapter of a research paper. However, depending on the specific requirements of the research paper or the preferences of the author, some chapters may be combined or additional sections may be included. Here's a brief explanation of what each section typically includes. Title page. The title page of your research, thesis, or dissertation consists of title of the research paper, author's name, affiliation of the author, and date. Abstract. The abstract of your research paper, thesis, or dissertation is a brief summary of the research paper, typically around 150 to 250 words. It includes the purpose of the study, the methodology, the key results, and the main conclusions. Chapter 1. Introduction. This provides background information on the research topic, states the research problem or question, outlines the purpose and objectives of the study, and discusses the significance of the research. The background of the study. This provides context for the research topic, explaining its relevance and importance. The statement of the problem. Here, you clearly articulate the research problem or question that the study aims to address. The purpose of the study. State the objectives or goals of the research. The research questions or hypotheses. Present the specific questions the study seeks to answer or the hypotheses being tested. The significance of the study. Explain the potential contributions of the research to the field and its practical implications. The scope and limitations. Define the boundaries and constraints of the study. Let's continue to Chapter 2. Chapter 2. Literature review. In this chapter you need to review and synthesize relevant literature and previous research on the topic. Discuss theoretical frameworks or conceptual models, identify gaps in the literature, and provide the theoretical foundation for the study. In general, Chapter 2 consists of the Introduction to Literature Review. It provides an overview of the literature review section. The theoretical framework. Discuss relevant theories or conceptual frameworks guiding the study. The review of related literature. Summarize and synthesize existing research related to the topic, organized by themes or subtopics. The synthesis of literature. Analyze and integrate the findings from previous studies to identify trends, gaps, and areas for further investigation. The gaps in literature. Identify the gaps or unresolved questions in the existing literature that the current study aims to address. Chapter 3. Methodology. In Chapter 3, you need to describe the research design, methods, and procedures used to conduct the study, including details about the sample or participants, data collection instruments, data analysis techniques, and any ethical considerations. The introduction to methodology. This provides an overview of the research design and methods. The research design. Describe the overall approach and structure of the study, example, qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methods. The participants or sample. Specify the characteristics of the study population or sample and the criteria for inclusion. The sampling procedure. Explain how participants were selected or recruited for the study. The data collection instruments. Describe the tools or measures used to collect data, example, surveys, interviews, observation protocols, and so forth. The data collection procedures. Detail the procedures followed to gather data from participants. The data analysis techniques. Explain the methods used to analyze the collected data. The ethical considerations. Address ethical issues related to participant rights, confidentiality, and informed consent. Chapter 4. Results, or data and data analysis. In Chapter 4, you need to present the findings of the study, including the collected data and the results of any analyses performed. This chapter may include tables, figures, or charts to illustrate the data. The introduction to results. Provide an overview of the presentation of findings. The descriptive statistics. Present basic statistics summarizing the characteristics of the data. The inferential statistics. If applicable, present the results of statistical tests used to analyze relationships or differences among variables. Chapter 5. Discussion. In this chapter, you have to interpret the results in relation to the research questions or hypotheses. Then, compare the findings with previous research, discuss the implications of the findings, address limitations of the study, and suggest directions for future research. The introduction to discussion. Provide an overview of the interpretation and implications of the results. The interpretation of results. Analyze the findings in relation to the research questions or hypotheses, discussing their significance and implications. The comparison with previous studies. Compare the current findings with those of previous studies, highlighting similarities, differences, and inconsistencies. The implications of findings. Discuss the practical implications of the study and its potential contributions to theory, practice, or policy. The limitations of the study. Identify the limitations and constraints of the research process and the potential impact on the validity and generalizability of the findings. The suggestions for future research. Propose directions for future research to address unanswered questions or build on the current study's findings. Chapter 6. Conclusion. Summarize the main findings of the study, reiterates the significance of the research, and provides final thoughts or recommendations. The summary of findings. Summarize the main findings of the study. Conclusion. Restate the significance of the research and its implications, emphasizing the key takeaways for the reader. Recommendations. Offer practical recommendations based on the study's findings, suggesting actions or strategies for addressing the research problem or question. References, or bibliography. List all the sources cited in the research paper, thesis, or dissertation, following a specific citation style, example, ARPA, MLA, etc. Appendices. This includes additional supplementary materials such as questionnaires, surveys, interview transcripts, or raw data referenced in the main text. These are common chapters or structure found in many research papers, theses, and dissertations. But, as I've already mentioned before, the actual structure may vary based on the requirements of the academic institution or the preferences of the researcher. Some research projects may include additional chapters, such as theoretical frameworks, methodology validation, or extended discussions on specific topics. It's essential to consult the specific guidelines provided by your institution or supervisor for the exact requirements. Hopefully, our discussion is beneficial. Catch up with you later.